So who made the quantum mirror? You'll find out right after this. Hey everybody, I'm Taylor and I'm the Stargate guy. Today, this video is a little different. This is an excerpt from the last live stream that I did talking about the quantum mirror and talking with you guys about the quantum mirror, Q&A, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So this is just about the quantum mirror section. To watch the full live stream, you can click on a little link right over here-ish, or wait until the end of the video and you'll see another one there. So, longtime subscriber Nicholas Yates contacted me on Facebook, and he said that he saw an interesting post on Reddit that he wanted me to look at. On the Reddit Stargate, there's a post by Pop Culture Nerd 13 days before this live stream, and it says, quote, "Hey all, well, while rewatching SG-1, I remember just how little was stated about the quantum mirror. And sadly, since it was destroyed in Season 3, the characters never had a chance to fully study it. With that said, I have questions and some possible answers that I'd love to discuss with all of you. For one, we know the quantum mirror was made by the ancients, but we don't know why. For one, we know the quantum... no, I read that already. Given that it was found in the Milky Way galaxy, my instinct is they built in the hopes of another reality developing a cure for the plague. Also, it seems that all the quantum mirrors have to be seem to be identical in size and shape, given that it is highly unlikely that every alternate reality would develop identical-looking quantum mirrors. I think the ancients might have made a device similar in idea to their seed ships for Stargates, that jumped from alternate reality to alternate reality and created identical quantum mirrors. One thing that I can't figure out is how did the quantum mirror end up on Camille, which name of the planet? Do you think the ancients built another outpost there, or were the people of Camille also a bunch of tech hoarders? Anyhow, I'm just curious to know all what you think of these ideas." Well, Pop Culture Nerd, I will tell you exactly what I think about these ideas, and then it will be up to you guys in the chat down here to, or over there, I guess it is, to let me know what you think about this idea, and then afterwards we're going to do some Q&A, and at the very end, maybe some channel announcements. We'll see how it goes. There's some pretty exciting stuff that's coming up on the horizon that I want to talk to you about. Anyway, so the quantum mirror. Well, Pop Culture Nerd, one, you're wrong. You are very wrong. The Stargate Wikia is wrong. First off, you said that, for one, we know the quantum mirror is made by the ancients. No, we don't know that. The quantum mirror is not made by the ancients. There is no freaking evidence to support that. In fact, there's evidence against that the ancients have even freaking made the dang thing. So, let's start with the look of the quantum mirror for one thing. So, the quantum mirror itself, it's all weird, jaggedy shape. It looks really nothing like ancient technology. And the guess that it was made out of Naquadah, that was a pure guess. Daniel said, this looks like it could be made out of Naquadah, and suddenly that's fact? That is in fact. That is a guess. He was guessing that it was made out of Naquadah, and you know what? It might be made out of something else. We don't freaking know. Secondly, the remote control. If you look at the remote control of the quantum mirror, it does not really look like ancient technology. Ancient technology tended to be more, I don't know, clean cut than that. It tended to be more of a helpful, usable shape. It did not have like this weird gel-looking stuff in it. I mean, come on, it does not look like ancient technology. I mean, what other piece of technology have you seen the ancients put in gel bits into it and have this tiny little remote control thing that you have to like barely touch it in order to dial up alternate realities? We do know that ancients tried to experiment with alternate realities. They also experimented with alternate dimensions, all kind of crazy freaking science thing. So I get the assumption that, oh, it's unexplained technology. It must be the ancients. But you're wrong. There is no evidence at all to support that it was made by the ancients. We don't even know how it works. We don't even know what it's freaking made out of. The best thing we know is that if you move it to the left or move it to the right, you can dial in an alternate reality, and that's it. We know how to use the remote control, okay? I know how to use the remote control on the TV, but if the TV logo was freaking covered up, I wouldn't know who made the damn thing. And that's what's going on with the quantum mirror. We don't know who made it. So the question then becomes, who did make it? So I have a little theory about this after watching the episodes and that feature the quantum mirror, and looking at the design of it, I have a crazy theory. So contradict me over here if you think I'm wrong or if you think I'm right. So my crazy theory is that the people of the planet P3R233, which is where the quantum mirror was found, that they are the ones who made the quantum mirror. Now, bear with me on this one. Looking around the planet of the quantum mirror, and I wish I could like show you guys on the live stream the video. I don't know how to do that, so I'll edit it in and I'll repost this thing. Anyway, on the planet that the quantum mirror was found on, we saw, looking all around, that these people, we don't know if they were humans, we don't know if they were someone else or if they look completely different, but what we do know is that their technology was way different than our own. If you look at the research lab that had the quantum mirror and the random objects in it, you notice that on the walls that there was kind of like a computer chip looking screen, guys, and in the rubble of this base that the Stargate was in, there looked to be display screens that had different curves or different designs made in the glass, let's say it's glass, that could display information. That type of technology is way above our own. Well, I wouldn't say way above, but it's above our own. We know that with us, the idea of alternate realities is still a fairly new one in our culture. I mean, it was only really developed less than 100 years ago, the multiverse theory. The idea is that every choice that a person makes, if they choose A, it goes into a different timeline than option B. So, at any given time, there's an infinite amount of different realities, some that are extremely close to our own and some that are vastly different, where we all turned into clowns or something, and we have an entire society of clowns, and we have a clown-based culture. That is theoretically an alternate reality than our own, and then the one that the Stargate is in, and all of these other kinds of things. So, my theory is that looking at the technology of the culture, even though that it was kind of destroyed by the Goa'uld, and so much so that it was all irradiated, that culture, or that level of technology, is above our own, and hypothetically, they could have created the quantum mirror as their form of exploration. There's a reason why it is close to the gate. Now, Daniel thought it was an artifact that was brought through the gate, along with the cuneiform cone, as well as a couple of other things, a couple pieces of pottery, jewelry, that kind of thing. So we thought that all those things were brought through the gate. I theorized that they knew the quantum mirror was another form of transportation, that they developed it themselves in order to explore alternate realities, and it is located near the gate because the gate is a way of exploring this reality. The quantum mirror exploring other realities. It is a kind of a transit center or a center of exploration for this culture on P3R233 and not brought through the gate. So my theory is that with the creation, that they were able to create this device that could go to alternate realities. Then they created more devices that were exactly identical to that. They would dial up an alternate reality, hold on to the thing, hold on to the alternate reality device, the copy, touch it, go through to that alternate reality. You set up that mirror, which is a copy of the one in your reality, and you just keep doing that. You keep making copies, you keep going through to as many alternate realities as possible so that you can explore an alternate reality almost risk-free. Because you don't mess up your own home reality, you mess up other people's realities. So for example, when we rescued long-haired Sam and Major Snakehead from the SGA, and we went in there, we contacted the Asgard for them. The Asgard came in, kicked the Goa'uld's butt off of Earth. we saved their reality with very minimal risk to our own. The only real risk was SG-1, who went through to the alternate reality. So they were able to affect and to gather intel and to gather devices, if they really wanted to, from an alternate reality with almost no risk to their own civilization and to their own culture in their own reality. So it's kind of like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty go to alternate dimensions. They can do as much crap as they want, but it doesn't really affect their own reality and their own little timeline. It's kind of the same idea, except a Stargate version. Now, in the room that has the quantum mirror in it, one of the things that leads to the idea that all of those were brought through the Stargate is that they were all tagged. And that these objects are being cataloged and studied, and that they were all brought through the gate. I theorize that the idea of cataloging is that they came through that area, was brought straight through the alternate realities, and that the stuff that was brought through the Stargate came to a different location. They wanted to keep them separate, and they had some kind of readers to know what reality they were in. So if you set up this alternate reality device in a dozen different labs, let's say, you want to make sure that you can dial your own. You step through it, you scan the tag on the mirror to confirm what reality it is in. If it's in the wrong reality, you dial it one way or the other, because they would know how to use it. Touch it, go through, yep, I'm back home in my own reality. Life goes on, and I brought this really cool artifact for us to study about ourselves or ancient cultures, that kind of thing. So that would explain why all of the mirrors look alike, why all of the mirrors are in that location, apart from a couple where it was brought to the SGC, and one that we saw where it was on a beach. Because, I mean, we are talking about alternate realities. All kinds of different things can happen. And we don't know exactly where this facility was built on P3R233. It could have been right by the beach. We don't know. That's the thing. But as far as it being ancient technology, as far as it coming through the Stargate, I don't think that was the case. I think it was developed by the culture on P3R233, and they used the cataloging system to find out what reality they were in, so they could explore the universe and alternate realities virtually risk-free and bring back all kinds of cool stuff to their own reality and to their own people to study and to find out more about themselves and the galaxy as a whole. So let me know what you guys think about this theory. Let's go to the comment section now, or the live stream comment section, and see what you guys think about this theory. I could be completely wrong. I have no idea if I'm wrong or if I'm right. There's really nothing in canon that I can see that would go against this theory, but I do see things that would go against the ancients building it theory. So let's look at the comments here. Hey guys. James Fry, hi. Silent Killer, yo, what up? Hey, Grandpa's Place, hey, Grandpa. Yeah, James, you made it to the live stream. Good job. James Fry, if the ancients didn't like time travel, I don't think they would have made the mirror. That's a very good point. The Council of Atlantis absolutely hated the idea of time travel because that's messing up their own reality. I could see how they could have approved the quantum mirror because they're messing up other realities and not their own. But you're right, there is definitely a precedent that they had rules against that kind of meddling with time. James Fry, again, the mirror would be useful for finding enemy university or universes for ZPM use. Yes, you could totally try to find ZPM through it. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you could do with it, but General Hammond ordered it destroyed in Season 3 before we really got to be able to have control over it and be able to use that in order to find alternate realities for a bunch of cool stuff that we can take and help use with our own fight against the Goa'uld. Hammond kind of shot himself in the foot, but he thought with the risk and, he doesn't want to be saving every single Earth. So that's probably why. Hunding 1978, choosing different cereal in the morning to make for parallel universes. Mind blown. Totally. If I decide to eat Fruit Loops instead of Chex this morning, alternate parallel universe. Let's see here. Larry Yost, hey, glad you're geeking out. Glad to have you here. Alester61, in the scene you're discussing, I would have loved to seen something from Star Trek. Yeah. And theoretically, that's possible. Theoretically, in a parallel universe somewhere, what is playing out in the Star Trek universe is actually happening. So it all depends on what degree that you dial into that universe. And if you're able to find that parallel universe, you can go there, grab a tricorder or a phaser, that kind of thing, and bring it back. That's a really cool thought. I like that. Silent Killer 733 sounds plausible. The Ancients didn't build everything. You're right. The Ancients didn't build everything. People give them way too much freaking credit. But they were, as Jack said, damn litterbugs. Grandpa's Place, the controller for the quantum mirror reminds me of the controller for the doorways to the moon. Furling, maybe. Well, yeah, in that you need a key in order to make it work. As far as it being similar looking, they're not really similar looking. The controller for the portal for the Furling Paradise in the episode Paradise Lost with Mayborn, I think that was season 6. That was more of a stone looking guy and not so much a kind of futuristic metallic gel padding kind of stuff. Yeah. Huntington 1978, maybe you explain it, but how would the alternate universes but how would the alternate universe would be materialized, let's say, in a lifeless universe? Well, that's the thing with the alternate universe. If you have that one mirror and you can dial it through, you can potentially see that universe, but you won't be able to come back. So you can see, exactly what you're tapping into in order to go forward. Or they could have do what we do, and they would have sent probes to alternate realities first to see the viability of it, and then take a quantum mirror to the other side and drop it off and move on. I could totally see that. We just don't know if inorganic matter can activate the machine and go through the portal by itself, or if it needs that organic component. Then again, that can be bypassed with an organic sample on the tip of a probe that could touch the mirror and bring along this machine to check out what the viability of the alternate universe is. Chokai, how about the furries made the quantum mirror? They would definitely be able to. Not sure if they actually would do it, though, since not much is known about them. So Chokai in a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. Pretty soon, I'm making a racial profiling about the furlings and exactly what we know. No theory parts, just exactly from all of the different episodes, what can we gather? Because there's already theories about who they are and connecting it to that. There's so much intrigue and there's so much belief and there's so much of a willingness to say, oh, it's either the Ancients or it's the Furling. We just don't know. That we do know some things about the Furling, but as far as the quantum mirror goes, I don't know. I really don't know. As far as matching it up with the technology for the Paradise Lost episode, they don't seem too similar, but we just don't know. Raven Fighter, hi, glad to see you. Eugene Wirtz, the mirror did not really match any ancient tech, more like Furling or even Nox tech. Again, we don't know. Nox, we don't really know anything about Nox technology except for the fact that they do have a great invisibility cloak, and there's a theory about that and the Ancients that's coming up that was suggested by a viewer, which makes total sense. I never thought about it, but once I did, it makes total sense. So that's going to be coming up eventually. But as far as Furling and Nox technology, we don't know. It doesn't seem like something the Nox would do. They're more of hardcore hippies. So I don't know why they would go to other alternate universes and try to get stuff. I mean, it doesn't really seem like their MO. James Fry just used the multiverse drive from Stargate Atlantis to get the mirror from one universe and bring it back here. Yeah, it's possible. But then again, that technology was really unstable. So there's a reason why so many, Stargate teams died aboard the ship in that episode. There's a very good reason for it. Amelia the Geek, what about the race that took control of Carter? That seems to be pure electrical energy. They were probably corporeal at some point. Which race are you talking about that took control of Carter? There was a couple. Yeah, so I think you're talking about the episode where it was basically a computer virus that took over Carter and that was inhabiting all the probes and everything at Stargate Command. As far as we know, that's a completely artificial development. It seems like it was a computer virus that gained sentience and that run amok. So I don't know if it would have the capacity to build something like this. They didn't really know anything about the Stargate at all, and just having a probe go through wiped out a good chunk of their society. I don't really think that they would have the capacity to do that. Grandpa's Place, the patterns on the stone look a lot like the patterns on the controller in the mirror. Or for the mirror. The patterns on the stone look a lot like the patterns on the controller for the mirror. Yeah, that makes sense. They go together. Chokai would love to see a racial profiling about the Furling. Looking forward to it. Well, good, because it's going to happen. Huntington, 1978. The Simpsons did it. Totally. Blame Homer. Homer created the quantum mirror completely by accident, and it was brought through all of the alternate timelines, and, Bart used it to terrorize the Nelsons in every single universe all the time, and not just his own. All right, so I think that's it as far as the how it works. I think we've come to a decent consensus just with the person on the live here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. Great videos are coming out every week where I talk to you about everything and anything Stargate. You can click right here for the full live stream, or you can click right here for some more awesome Stargate content. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side.